Welcome back to Pinero's Man, my people. I've got a quick video that I want to share with you, and it involves the dust clouds, the dust pneumonia. You know, if you watch my videos, you see my take on it and how I feel about this whole coronavirus. But for those that's taking heed to my theory of the dust pneumonia, there's a few things that you need to take heed to also, and that's your iron intake. You know, the industries, they know what they're doing, the FDA especially, you know, putting certain metals, you know, certain extra things in your food, you know, things that are not good for you, things that they know that are not good for you. So I wanted to have a little look at this video and they'll explain more how certain things like iron and other vitamins, you know, you take them daily, you don't really think nothing of it, you just think, oh, I've got to get some iron in me. No, there's more to it, you know, there's more to it. You know, obviously we wasn't told everything. So we can only start learning now if we don't know. Alright? So check this video out.
Another hidden cause of diabetes that you might not be aware of, that you need to be aware of, and that is excessive amounts of iron. I mean, this is kind of surprising. You would think iron would be very beneficial to the body, but the problem with iron, it's very difficult to eliminate. Too much iron in the body is very dangerous to the mitochondria, to the cells, creates a lot of damage. It can lead to cancer.
We can't clear iron from the brain. And so when you're older, you have to be much more circumspect about the level of iron that you ingest through diet, because it builds up in the brain and it produces a lot of what's called oxidative stress. Rusting. Rusting of the neurons. I like that. A little rusting of the neurons.
For us, it can create a lot of problems. So iron can then destroy certain parts of the brain, specifically the hippocampus, which then can lead to dementia. But it's really the accumulation of iron and having free iron in the body that creates the problem. And there's even a genetic condition called hemochromatosis, which is an iron overload disease, which the body just cannot eliminate iron, so it keeps building up. And the problem with iron is it's very oxidizing. You can kind of look at it like it rusting out your cells. Well, anytime you have that effect, you're going to have a lot of inflammation. And with the inflammation comes a big spike in insulin resistance. So this condition, hemochromatosis, has a huge link to diabetes as a side effect.
Did you know there's a hidden cause of diabetes and belly fat that most people are probably not aware of?
Not to mention a fatty liver, cirrhosis, because iron apparently accumulates in the pancreas, in the actual cells that make insulin. So the more iron you have, the more destruction you have to the beta cells.
Let's talk about the signs and symptoms of hemochromatosis. Excess iron deposition in the body can cause a variety of issues, including fatigue, joint pain, yellowing or bronzing of the skin, or leg swelling. The most common organs involved by hemochromatosis include the liver, which can lead to cirrhosis or liver cancer, the heart, which can lead to heart failure, the gonads or testes, which can lead to hormone deficiency, the pancreas, which can lead to diabetes, the joints, which can lead to arthritis, and the skin, which can lead to bronzing of the skin.
Where are we getting this excess iron? Two places. One is supplementation. Some of the top main vitamin companies use the wrong type of iron in their ingredients, but it's the type of vitamins that you would get from GNC or the drugstore. They're not food-based, okay? And you pick up the bottle and they're really heavy because they have a ton of calcium carbonate and they have metals and they have synthetic vitamins. Very cheap to make, but they are loaded with the wrong type of iron, okay? So if you're gonna buy a supplement, just make sure it's food-based. Where does this iron come from? Well, one big problem is the fortification of foods, primarily in the US, in Canada, and the UK. Other parts of the world, they don't fortify as much, and in many cases, they don't fortify at all. And there's also a date coincidence of increasing fortification of iron and also other synthetic vitamins in 1980 for baby formulas. And if you look on the graph on this, you see this date coincidence of people getting fatter right after that.
It's no secret eating a healthy diet with essential nutrients is good for you, but could you be getting too much of a good thing? Consumer Reports has this advice. Supermarket aisles are filled with fortified foods, including cereal, orange juice, pasta, bread, protein drinks, and snack bars.
If you have too much of some of the nutrients that are in fortified foods and in dietary supplements, it can be harmful.
Take calcium. The daily recommended amount for adults is 1,000 to 1,200 milligrams. Say you start your morning with a bowl of total whole grain cereal. Each serving is fortified with 100% of your daily calcium needs, and that's without milk. Add the milk and pop a daily dose of a calcium supplement like this one, and you've doubled the amount of calcium your body needs.
Too much supplemental calcium can increase your risk for kidney stones.
Too much iron is another concern. Most healthy adults need just under 8 milligrams per day. Women under 51 need 18 milligrams, and pregnant women 27. A bowl of Kellogg's Product 19 has 18 milligrams, and plenty of other foods are fortified with iron, so you could be getting more than you think.
Too much increases the risk of diabetes and heart problems.
Now, in 1983, the FDA increased the iron amount in flour products by 20 milligrams per pound. And this is another day coincidence of the spike in obesity.
When we talk about hemochromatosis, we have to talk about hepcidin. The abnormal production of hepcidin, which is an iron-regulating protein, causes hemochromatosis. Hepcidin is a liver protein that controls iron storage, as well as iron absorption in the small bowel. Abnormal hepcidin production results in uncontrolled iron absorption from the bowel and deposition of excess iron into body organs, which include the liver, heart, and pancreas. Mutations in genes that control hepcidin regulation cause hemochromatosis.
Number one, don't consume fortified foods. Consume less red meat. If you have a problem with too much iron, there's something called IP6, which is phytic acid, and that helps to chelate iron. And you find you have accumulation of iron in the body. The question is, how do you get it out? I would recommend taking something like a chelator, which basically naturally combines with iron and pulls it out safely. The best natural chelator is phytic acid in the form of IP6, okay? You can get this from the health food store. I don't have any brand names. Just look up IP6, and this is what you'd want to take to help neutralize iron, get it out of the body safely, so we can actually protect ourselves against excess iron, as well as something called EDTA. What you could do is, because these pull out other minerals too, you could take this on an empty stomach. Several hours later, you can take the minerals that you want in your body, like potassium, magnesium, so you can actually not deplete all your minerals.
So we've known actually for about 150 years that iron is actually quite important in sort of the pathology of MS. So we started to look at this using MRI, which can be used to detect such iron, but of course in vivo. And we wanted to see whether this starts very, very early in the disease process, or whether it's something that accumulates with time as the disease progresses.
Also, donating blood gets rid of the iron. If you feel really good when you donate blood, chances are you have too much iron.
So we started taking these patients provided by the MS clinic at the London Health Sciences Centre and scanning them to see whether there was abnormal iron in their brain. And one of the very interesting findings we saw was, in fact, there is a lot of iron, well above what you would expect for age-matched controls in the MS patient's brains.
The other thing is you want to avoid supplements with iron. Make sure that you do not consume a multivitamin mineral with added iron.
Insofar as iron is related to some kind of obstruction in your veins, but the fact is there is iron at the very earliest stages of MS.
It's a very interesting video, right? So as we clearly see in the video, that there's certain minerals that have different effects on our body. It should depend on how much we take, how much we input. And it's very important, because we know a lot of people that have, not to bring it up, but people that have passed away to these type of things. And it would have been nice if, you know, we had the knowledge from earlier, so we could have actually helped You know, and we know the knowledge is always there. It's just whatever they choose to give us. Or is it whatever we choose to search for? And let's not forget that there's also a lot of hidden knowledge out there. So it works both ways. There's a lot going on right now. So, like I said before, if you follow my theory, I will give you some knowledge that can possibly help you. Everyone has different theories. Some people believe that it's not even happening. But even if it wasn't happening, what would be the point of it all? What would be the point of, you know what I'm saying? It's time to use your common sense. And I will be doing more videos. Look out for my video tomorrow. And yeah, stay safe. Peace.